So welcome to another video. This video is about a little PlayStation 4 controller, DualShock wireless, nice Last of Us Part 2 controller. The right thumbstick's a little bit weird looking. I was told that it was just broken, so I thought that the actual analog thumbstick would be fried, but it wasn't, as you'll see. So just sped up taking apart the unit. These things are a little bit tricky. I like that there's only 4 screws to take out of the back, but also separating it can be a little bit tricky, so I sped it all up here. Finally got it apart. I was just disconnecting the connector for the back light and the charging port here. And then the back comes loose, and then what you have to do now is you have to remove the battery. So I just unplugged the battery. And then this next part, you might need to use a pry bar of some kind. There's a little bit of adhesive on the back of the battery, but it just pops off. You can see the tape there. And there's one solo screw, and that solo screw holds the battery cradle in place and also the circuit board. Once that's out, you can take that cradle out of place, and then the circuit board, it's kind of held in by a couple of plastic pegs and like a locking peg, so you just kind of have to work your way around, unplug the ribbon cable that's there, and then I'm just very gently wiggling the circuit board out of there. You'll see I actually end up using the pry bar again here just to slide this post up where my finger is on the right hand side there. There's a post. There it is there. You just got to get that up and over that hole in the circuit board in order to free the circuit board so you can get it out. So at this point I was thinking that the thumbstick on the left would be destroyed, but much to my surprise, when I flipped it around, first thing I noticed was that the joystick wasn't attached. So I just checked the actually analog control just to make sure it was still in one piece. It was, so I just basically took this, checked it out. It looked like it was fine, so I'm not sure what really happened. In all my times of using controllers, I've never had this happen where one just comes out like that. But I was able to put it back into place, give it a test click, move it around a couple times. And put the circuit board back in. So now I put it all back together again because I want to test it. And go ahead and replace the ribbon connector back in. And then next will come the battery connector. Just checking to make sure that the circuit board is seated properly and that I can still have full range of the joysticks, which I did. So far so good for this repair. And put the screw back into the battery cradle. So really, if you have a joystick problem like this or a thumbstick problem on any controller, this could be the issue. The best thing about this is that it was free to repair. Took me 10 minutes, if that. And it's good as new. Place the battery back in. You didn't see off screen there as I added more adhesive tape to the battery just as an assurance that it wouldn't come loose in the future. In the back cover here, there's that ribbon cable we took apart or took off earlier, and able to slide that back on with the fingers. Probably should have used pliers or something here just to make it a little bit easier. but we were able to get it back on with our fingers with little persuasion. So that's it. It's all back together again. Well, kind of. But for the most part, it's in working order now. And once I click the case back together again, I'm going to cut, and I'm basically on my desktop now. I'm going to go ahead and plug it into the USB port, plug it into my computer. There's a couple things I use for PlayStation 4 controllers. I've not gotten a lot of PlayStation 4 controllers to repair, so I'm not sure if there's a better way to do this, but this works for me. The first one is built into Windows in the device manager. You just double click on the controller, and then you can bring up this test area. So I basically just wiggle the affected thumbstick around, and it's responding fine. Everything else seems to work fine on the controller. Should go by and test all the buttons several times. The last thing you want to do is, after you put everything back together again, is find out something's not working, and then you have to take the whole thing apart again and try to figure out what's going on. So now I'm going to load up another program here, and this one actually tests the touchpad for the gamepad. And you can see I'll just rub my finger against it, and you can see my mouse moving around. So that's it. That's this controller fixed. Again, it cost nothing. Took 10 minutes of my time. And, you know, you save easily 30, 40 bucks. So if you're new here, subscribe. And don't forget to like.